Hello! Today I want to show you a great tool I've been using for years with my students to gather feedback from them and also to allow them to reflect on their learning outcomes. It is called the reflection triangle, and when you open it, it looks a little bit of a mess, but that is because this is a highly interactive activity. So if you start the PowerPoint presentation, you are presented with a grid which looks pretty much like a pyramid with one box at the top, two in the middle and three at the bottom. So how do the boxes work? Well, you have some clues on the question mark. So if you click on a question mark, you're told here in the callout to click and press Alt at the same time on this blue box, and they need to write on that blue box one thing that they're still not sure about the topics of the lesson, or maybe ask a question that they still would like an answer to. So what happens in the middle two sections? Well, here we're asking the learners to write two things that out of the lesson they really understood well. So what is from the topic that they didn't perhaps know before and now understand very thoroughly. And thirdly, we would ask them to write three things they already knew about this topic. And that's quite important because it draws on previous knowledge of the learners. There are stars as well, as you might have noticed, and here are boxes again, callouts that will allow you your learners to write even more information or perhaps more details about what they want to express. So for example, at the top, here we are asking the students to explain why they are still unsure about certain areas of the topic, or explain why they're interested in that question that they've asked. Also, and I think this is one of the most important ways in which you could use these grids, is that you ask them to find out somebody in the class that has this point that they quite didn't understand very well in the middle section. In other words, is there someone, a pupil in the classroom that has understood that point very well? And then, as a teacher, you can ask this other student to explain that topic or that area to the other pupils. So they peer teaching, and it becomes a really interactive activity. In the middle two sections, we would ask them to simply explain how they've learned that. So it's not just about what they've learned, their knowledge and understanding, but how did they get to understand this particular topic? How did they get to learn what they've learned during a learning cycle? And again, that's very important, because if they can identify the strategies they used to learn a particular topic, they can then apply them again, and they can start recognizing what strategies were effective and what strategies were not effective. And thirdly, we are asking them to give us a little bit more feedback as to where they learned these 3 points about the topic before they started the topic in class. So was it because one of their parents or one of their relatives works in that particular area, so they knew quite a bit about it before? Or is it that they've heard it in the news? Did they learn part of that topic in primary school? So again, it's trying to help them identify what they already know and how they know that, where did they find that information, and drawing back from their experience. I believe this is a really useful technique to help learners reflect about their own learning, and I strongly recommend you use it in your classes, because it has been very effective in pupils' progress and in allowing teachers to gather feedback and to give feedback to the students, and for students to interact with each other in a very organic way by providing feedback to one another. So thank you for listening, and goodbye from TES Science.